My name is Rose Watson. I've been married for 10 years and live separately from my mother-in-law, who lives far away. I heard that she's retired now and dealing with a bad backache. Because of this, she can't work, and my husband has been sending her money every month. He reminds me to transfer the money at 0:18 each month, and I always make sure to do it. My husband visits his mother at least once a month, helping out with things she can't do. Then one day, he came back from her place and suddenly started yelling at me. "What the hell have you done?" I was confused by his sudden anger and just stared blankly. He accused me of not caring about his feelings regarding the money he sends to his mother. I was caught off guard and didn't understand what he was talking about. "I told you to transfer $1,000 every month. I did transfer it. I'm telling you, it's not been transferred. Do you have any idea how hard it is to send that $1,000? I understand. I've had to take part-time jobs and scrounge for money just for that. Knowing all that, why didn't you send it?" "I did send it." "Why are you saying this? Just calm down a bit." Calm down? How can I be calm when Mom is struggling because she doesn't get the money from me and has even started doing piecework? But I definitely did send it. Are you saying my mom is lying? Then there's no way my mom would lie to me. You can't just make an assumption and then get mad when it's not true. I don't even know why this is happening. I've been sending her the money you give me every month. Then why is she doing piecework? She's in pain lifting heavy boxes. I don't know about that. I haven't seen it. You never go to my family home. I go every month, but you never come with me. You just don't care about my mom. That's not true. There's no need for me to go every month, and it's so far away. I don't want to waste my only day off. Waste your day off. It's visiting family. How can that be a waste? Well, that's your family. You wouldn't think twice about it. But you don't go to my family's house, did you? Of course not. You married into my family, but I didn't marry into yours. You shouldn't say things like that. It only causes trouble. You're the one causing trouble. I wondered if he even realized what he was saying, just venting his anger on me. I thought the conversation was going nowhere, so I tried to escape to the kitchen, but he was too angry and followed me, running away. Huh? I'm not running away. I just want you to calm down. Maybe we should have a coffee and talk this through. I don't need that. Give me back all the money I've been giving you to send to my mom. Hold on. Why does it have to come to this? What about our kids? I don't care about the kids. I don't need a wife who makes my mom suffer. No matter how much I tried to have a rational conversation, my husband just couldn't stay calm and even stated that he didn't care about our kids. Despite my desperate attempts to make him believe me, hours passed with no progress. Finally, feeling there was no other option, after 10 years together, I quietly responded to his demand for divorce. All right, divorce it is. Kicked out by my husband, I left the house with our child. Make sure you file the divorce papers. Conveniently, he had already prepared the divorce papers, as if he knew this would happen. Though I never imagined I'd have to sign such documents, there was no other choice. I left the house, went straight to the office to file the papers, and decided to stay at my parents' house for now. My child was shocked by the sudden turn of events, but all I could do was reassure them with empty words. It's going to be okay. After settling down in a new place with my child, I got a call from my ex-husband, Mark. Something weird is happening. Out of the blue, Mark started talking as if we were still married. What do you want with me, a stranger? Now I know we're strangers. You call me suddenly. Don't even ask about your child, and say something weird is happening. You sound much weirder, you know. Well, here's the thing. I've been sending the money to my mom myself, but she says it's not being transferred. So she had to do piecework to get by. Now I get it. That's why you were so angry, and you thought I was pocketing the money. Yeah, that's right. But even when you transferred it yourself, it didn't get there. Yeah, that's what's happening. So doesn't that mean it wasn't me? Well, I don't know about that. What? When you were in charge, maybe you were pocketing the money. That's awful. If that's what you think, then I'll go to your family's house myself. What are you going to do there? Maybe I'll find out something if I go. Yeah, maybe so. We ended up going to my husband's family house together for the first time in a while. When we got there, his sister was present. Oh, why are you here, Selena? I came back because I'm worried about Mom. What about your husband? We're divorced, just like Mark. Oh, so you divorced and came back to your family home? Yes. When did you come back? 6 months ago. 6 months? Never mind that. Mom, is it true that you didn't receive the money I sent? It's true. It doesn't change the fact that the money wasn't received, whether both of you are here or not. But did you print out your account record in your bank book lately? Yes, I did. Just 2 days ago. Can I see the bank book? Sure, you can't show that. Why would you show a bank book to someone else? You're a stranger now. Why would you think she'd show you something so important? Are you out of your mind? But we can't know if the money really wasn't deposited unless we check. You don't need to see it. Then I'll look. I'm her son. It shouldn't matter. Fine, look. There's hardly anything in there anyway. My mother-in-law said this, and then fetched the bank book from a drawer in the next room. But when we looked at the bank book, there were deposits and withdrawals. Look, Mark, there's a deposit from you here, and it was withdrawn the next day. That's quite punctual. Before this, even if you deposited it, it wasn't withdrawn immediately. I couldn't go to the bank much because of my back pain. I would wait until it was absolutely necessary. But since Selena came back, she's been going to the bank for me, which has been a big help. Ever since Selena came back, she's been the one going to the bank. The money was always withdrawn the next day, according to the bank book. Mark and I instinctively looked at her. What? I don't know anything about this, she said desperately. But from what we see here, it looks like you withdrew it, Selena. Mom doesn't go to the bank, and maybe someone else has Mom's card and is withdrawing the money every month. I don't have a card. I'm afraid of losing it, so I never made one. Tell the truth, Selena. All right, it was me. Mom told me to withdraw the $1,000 she was getting each month. I saw it was being deposited every month, so I thought borrowing a little bit would be okay. If you're borrowing it, are you planning to pay it back? I intend to pay it back. I just don't have the money for it right now. Why would you do such a thing? Well, I really needed the money. I only borrowed it because I had to. Besides, Mom's managing to get by. Isn't that fine? Were you that desperate for money? His mother, softening her tone, asked this to my defiant Selena. Then Selena completely changed her tone from her previous assertiveness, now playing the role of a pitiful victim. If that's the case, it can't be helped. Mark was kind enough to send the money, but this is an unavoidable situation. Yeah, if sister was in trouble, it's the family's job to help. After all of his rage and accusations towards me, Mark forgave his sister as if nothing had happened. Hey, I was called a thief over this, and now you're just going to let it go because it's your sister. It can't be helped. She said she's in trouble. That's fine for your money. But don't you have something to say to me? Not really, no. Not even an apology. After all the horrible things you said to me, why should I apologize? I was hurt by what you said, in such a fragile mental state. What anyway? It's not like I did anything wrong, right? Selena was having a hard time, so this happened. It's not Mark's fault. He doesn't need to apologize. Even his mother said, isn't this just like being completely surrounded by enemies? Even if I speak the truth, this place is hostile territory. There's no doubt that anything I say will be met with opposition. Even though a quick look at the bank book would have clarified everything, I had to travel all this way just to be treated like this. Fine. If cutting ties with you costs me this much, it's a small price to pay. I'm leaving. Drive me to the station. Huh? Why do I have to take you? What? We're divorced. First, remember? I don't have to do anything for you, a stranger, because I came all this way for you, did I? I don't remember asking you to come. I just wanted some advice. You came here on your own. You can leave on your own too. That's right. You're not a couple anymore. Why should he take you? What a group. No thank you or sorry for solving the issue. After spending 10 years with such a man, it felt like such a waste of time. Fine. I'll take a taxi. I don't need you. Yeah, that's probably best. Frustrated, I called the taxi and somehow managed to get home. As I got home, tears of frustration streamed down my face, and I swore never to listen to that man again. But then after a while, my husband called me. Maybe he had changed his mind and was about to apologize for what happened. Maybe he'd say he had to act that way in front of his sister and mother. But my expectations were shattered. Can you lend me some money? Shouldn't you say something to me first? Oh, long time no see. That's not what I mean. You're being troublesome, you know. It's not normal to ask for money without even apologizing first. That's not true. We were a married couple after all. You could say we were a united fate. That's not the case anymore. The day we split up, our united fate dissolved. I still think we're a united fate, though. He keeps saying whatever he wants. So lend me some money, will you? Why? The truth is I found out Selena has a huge debt. Wait, it's been quite a while since that day. Didn't you ask her what she spent the money on? I couldn't ask her that. It would have been too pitiful. Money is a delicate subject. Maybe her ex-husband had something to do with it. Or there might be some other reason. Sure, there must be some reason. But you should have asked about it for the future, right? I trusted her because we're family, and yet there was no trust for me at all. Well, I've known Selena way longer than I've known you. Yeah, since we were born. That's why I trusted her. I thought everything would be fine. But in the end, it wasn't fine. So what happened? It wasn't fine. Well, it turns out she had a huge debt, and the $1,000 a month wasn't enough. How much does she need then? She wants to repay it all at once. It's true that paying it off in one go would save on interest, but I don't have that kind of savings. So why did you contact me? Because you said you had a good amount of savings when we were in the car going to your parents' house, I remember. I was insulted by him saying I must be struggling without money since our divorce and that I would have stolen the money. If he continued to ask me to make the transfers, angered by his belittling words and the assumption that I couldn't survive on a part-time job, I ended up revealing that I was trading stocks and making a good profit. But would that lead to an ex-wife being asked for a loan? Selena says she's in debt for $30 million. $30 million? Yes. So please lend me the money. It's okay, right? First, why does she have such a huge debt? I was curious too, so I asked her. It turns out most of it was from shopping, and is all brand items. She just can't control her desire when she sees them and ends up buying things. And she put everything on revolving credit, so the interest adds up. And she keeps buying more every month. Before she knew it, her debt reached $30 million. She's really careless. Mark, laughing it off. His carelessness is quite careless himself. She didn't understand how revolving credit works. She thought she could just pay a set amount each month, and eventually it would be paid off. I guess I can understand that feeling. I can't understand it at all. How could she take such a risk? And wasn't this the reason for her divorce? Now she finally realized the interest is piling up and is becoming a serious problem. So she came crying to me. But I don't have that kind of money. I told her I couldn't give more than $1,000 a month. Then she suggested borrowing from you. What? Why me? You said we were strangers and you didn't even need to drive me to the station. That's all in the past. The past should be washed away like water under the bridge. What a selfish and convenient way of thinking. Would anyone accept that? So you can afford to lend it, right? Well, yes, I do have that much in savings. Then lend it to me. I just made a lot of money with stocks recently. So you win some, you lose some with stocks, right? Yes, yeah, that makes sense. But didn't you say stocks were like gambling? Isn't it gambling? You always ridiculed me for playing the stock market, calling it a gamble, right? Did I? When you wanted a divorce, you hurried to separate because you said having a wife who gambles on stocks would lead to trouble. Well, I said that when I didn't know how much you had saved. So that's why you asked me how much I had. That time you ridiculed me, but then I mentioned I had savings. Well, yeah, I didn't expect you to have that much, but I'm glad I asked. But even at that stage, you still mocked it as gambling. Well, yeah, but that's a small thing. Let's not worry about it. I was foolish. All right, that's not all right. You are really cruel. And now you want money I saved for our child. You're worrying too much. Our child won't need that money for a long time. It's silly to start saving from now. Money rots if you don't use it. Money rots. I've never heard of money rotting. Think of this as an investment. It's like investing in me. Why would I invest in you? Just do it. Lending me the money would be the smartest move, right? Look, if I lend you money, it won't come back right. You're still sending $11,000 a month to your mom. Where will you find the money to pay me back? All right, I'll pay back $11,000 a month. Are you crazy? How many years do you think it will take to repay it that way? Don't say that. I really regret it. Regret. Yeah, if we hadn't split up, I wouldn't have to beg you for money now. I have to ask, isn't that unjust? So you're just after my money. No, it's not like that. We don't have love, but we can rely on each other. It feels like I'm only being relied upon. You're so rigid. Thinking like that won't make you happy. We could even remarry. I didn't mind our marriage that much. Wow, I do mind. I don't want to be with someone who can't apologize. Fine, I apologize. Sorry. Is that good enough? What are you apologizing for? Explain in 400 characters or less what you did wrong. Ah, I just apologized because you said so. Pathetic. Don't ever call me again. Why? I apologized, so will you remarry me or help me? My sister is suffering. Shut up. Go to hell. Saying so, I forcefully ended the call and blocked his number. Later, I heard from mutual friends that Mark, despite saying it was impossible, couldn't refuse Selena. Being not only constantly nagged by Selena, but also persuaded by his mother to help. Consequently, he ended up borrowing money from a consumer finance company to repay her debt in full. Everything was settled. Assuming Selena would work and gradually repay the debt, they thought so. However, far from working, she resumed her shopping habits. Despite having suffered before, she again made purchases on revolving credit. This burden eventually fell directly upon Mark to handle. When they confronted her about why things turned out this way, she reportedly said, "I never intended to buy anything. By the time I realized it, I had already processed the credit." Mark and his mother, naively believing Selena's words, just accepted, saying she must be sick. They neither devise any solutions nor take her to a hospital. Despite thinking she is ill while saying this, Selena, wearing expensive clothes and jewelry, is reportedly laughing over tea with friends, saying, "Really, Mark is so easy to manipulate." Eventually, they couldn't escape the debt and had to sell their family home. Now Mark, his mother, and Selena ended up living together, but they couldn't afford the rent for the apartment they used to live in, so the three of them moved. Apparently, their life is quite difficult now. It seems only Selena is enjoying herself, but neither Mark nor his mother realize this. On the other hand, I continue to profit from the stock market and now live a comfortable life in a spacious apartment with my child.